In the late 20th century, most inclusive tour operators in the UK had recognised the usefulness and economic effectiveness of having their own airline. This was something known as vertical integration. In 1987, the Owners Abroad Group decided to launch their own airline, and they teamed up with former CEO of Air Europe, Errol Crosley, to form Air 2000, where again he took that role on. The airline was based in Manchester in the northwest of England, and the initial aim was to service the Mediterranean, very much the bread and butter route of the charter market. The airline decided to focus on an enhanced service, such as having real knives and forks, printed menus and three-course meals. The airline commenced operations on the 11th of April 1988, operating two Boeing 757 aircraft out of Manchester. These 231-seater planes were ideal for transporting large numbers to major European holiday spots. The following year, the airline expanded into Edinburgh and Glasgow, and by now it was also operating long-haul services from London Gatwick to Mombasa in Kenya. They soon added the American market with services from London and Manchester and Glasgow. The latter destination, Glasgow, seen them win a court action to allow them to be the first airline in Scotland not to use Glasgow Prestwick for long-haul services. At first, the airline did not have much use for the 757s in winter, so a similar venture was set up in Canada, which became known as Canada 3000. Both airlines sported similar liveries, so aircraft could be swapped between them. The 757 ultimately became the long-haul aircraft, with Airbus 320 series being brought in to operate many of the shorter routes in Europe. The airline also operated Boeing 767s. In 1993, the airline began scheduled operations from 5 UK airports to both Larnaca and Paphos in Cyprus. Later they expanded scheduled services to destinations in Spain and Portugal from a number of UK airports. While the airline was successful, the parent company, Owners Abroad, began to struggle and was rebranded into First Choice Holidays. At the turn of the 21st century, a wave of consolidation hit the UK tour operator market, and the parent company took hold of Unijet in 2004 and their in-house leisure airline Leisure International, and decided to form First Choice Airlines. Hence the airline finished its 16-year existence not through failure, but by a process in the industry which ended most of the major names of the UK charter market, like Britannia Airways, Orion and Air Europe. It also resolved the awkwardness of the name becoming obsolete. First Choice went to merge with the Thomson Group, and hence First Choice Airlines became Thomson Fly in 2008, this lineage ending with them becoming TUI. They had 28 aircraft at the end, Air 2000, when they ceased, 8 Airbus 320 series, 14 Boeing 757s and 6 Boeing 767s. Although not groundbreaking in any essential sense, Air 2000 were a popular airline. They were very much part of the drive to improve the charter experience, as well as being one of the airlines that developed long-haul services in addition to the usual European routes. They were also one of the first to experiment in scheduled operations. Canada 3000 were not permitted to operate under British ownership and were reformed as a Canadian company. They went on to be a hugely successful airline in Canada until going out of business in 2001. Thank you for watching this short history of Air 2000.